Hello and welcome to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. Now what I thought I would do is, earlier on I wasn't able to allocate a lot of time going into that match preview video. What I thought I would do for you later on now in the night is bring you an upcoming summer transfer window regarding Barcelona. What are we going to do in the summer? What positions do we need to look at? That's what this video is all about, the kind of profiles that we need to be seeking out going into this summer, because then we can all accept, really, we've got a decent team, we've got a decent squad, but there are some areas in there that we need to strengthen, either by bringing players in from outside the club or, most importantly, promoting from within. And that's going to be the emphasis on today's video. I'm going to be giving you the positions, I'm going to be giving you the profiles, but I'm also going to be giving you a La Masia alternative, somebody that we can promote, we can give a chance in the first team, and potentially save us a lot of money in the process. So here we go with the video, guys. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Let's do this. Now we are going to go from back to front. Obviously all of this really depends on player sales, who's going to go, who's going to stay, and I think centre-back is an area that we really do need to strengthen in the summer, and a lot of that does depend on Yerry Mina, whether the club trust him, whether Ernesto Valverde trusts him. Brought in January, of course, he was sort of deemed as the cheaper alternative to Matthias de Ligt, and I think we've seen that in the fact that he hasn't played many games. Valverde doesn't really seem to fancy him, doesn't really want to see him playing all that often, and I think it's actually a very similar case to that of Marlon. We brought him in from Brazil, somebody from South America coming into the team now and not quite having the chance really to establish themselves. Yerry Mina hasn't had a lot of time, and I think if in the summer, we choose to let him go out on loan, perhaps, which looks very, very likely right now, we are going to need to bring in either a third or fourth centre-back. Vermaelen looks like he's staying, but we need four centre-backs. We need somebody to take the workload off Piqué, off Umtiti, even Vermaelen, of course, who can be injury prone at times, and we've seen this season a lot of those guys get injured, or the suspensions as well. We do need full cover at centre-back. We might go down the road of somebody experienced, somebody who plays in La Liga, or we could give a chance to somebody from Barcelona B, somebody like George Cuenca, currently playing, of course, at Barcelona B. He really, really did impress me when I saw him in the Catalan Super Cup against Espanyol, playing for the first team for the very first time. He was a really, really good player on that day. Strong, athletic, very, very good at playing at the back with the ball. Everything a Barcelona centre-back should be. Obviously, though, there are alternatives out there. There's Longley from La Liga. There's also de Ligt that I've already mentioned. There are targets out there, and centre-back for me, we do need to strengthen it. Then moving on to the left-back position, and I think this is definitely one that in the summer we're going to need to look at and say, you know what, we need a left-back for sure. Right now it does seem like Lucas Digne could be leaving the club. He could be going to Serie A. Juventus are reportedly interested in his services. They could be losing Alexandro, so apparently Digne is an option for them. He's going to be allowed to leave if he does want to go for around 15 to 20 million euros. Of course, we paid 20 to PSG to sign him a few years ago. He hasn't really established himself. We do need somebody, though, in that left-back area who's going to rival Alba, maybe not take his first team place right now, but certainly challenge him, give him some rest, because Alba's one of those players as well that can pick up some niggly injuries. So we want to bring in somebody who can ease the workload on him, because he gets a lot of work done down that left-hand side. He's up and down, up and down. That can take a lot out of you, He's getting towards 30 now, 29 years old, Jordi Alba. We need to start thinking about the future. Obviously, there's somebody like Grimaldo, left the club for Benfica. He's done very, very well there. He's going to be available this summer for around 30 million euros. Or again, you can look from within. We've got Cucurella playing for Barcelona B. We've got young Miranda as well, a year younger than Cucurella, and really, really impressed in the UEFA Youth League. Both of those players, I think, have the promise. Reportedly, Miranda will go on pre-season training to the United States this summer, and it's going to be really interesting what we do in that left-back area if Lucas Digne leaves. And then we move on to my favourite subject of all time, Barcelona's midfield, and that is an area that in the summer, not just in the positions that I'm going to tell you about, we need a full restructure in that midfield. Andres Iniesta leaving, heartbreaking as it is, we can't replace him. We have to accept that he's a once-in-a-lifetime player. He's going to be impossible to replace, just like Xavi. But at the same time, what you can do is bring players in who can at least give you that sort of profile, that sort of mould of a player in that midfield, which we simply haven't done in recent times. And the third player on my list would be defensive midfielder. We need to bring somebody in who can deputise for Sergio Busquets. We have not had somebody naturally in that role now for a number of years. Rakitic all season long has had to play there when Busquets isn't there, but obviously that doesn't allow Rakitic any rest, so you've had him playing many more games than he should have, and whenever Busquets is injured, we really feel that. He's such a key cog in our team, and I just think somebody that important, again, getting on now, getting towards his 30s, he needs now to have somebody who's looking to replace him in the years to come. We need to start thinking about the future. We need to get our planning right. There's been a lot of rumours going around about Fabian Ruiz at Real Betis. I think he's an absolutely fantastic player. Wouldn't be very expensive either come the summer. Obviously, Arthur is coming in as well. He's not really quite in Busquets' role, but again, he can play there. And obviously, there's players like Sergio Samper, still at the club, still contractually at Barcelona, never really been given a chance over the past few years. He's had a few bad loans. There's probably like Oriol Busquets, who's been doing well for Barcelona B before he sadly got injured. Namesake of Sergio, Oriol also plays in the same position and is very talented indeed. So there are certainly options, and that for me is a really important signing come the summer. The fourth position on my list would all be once again about that midfield, looking into that. Obviously, like I say, we do have Arthur Melo coming in, but that's not going to be in the summer. That's not going to be until January, and even then, he's going to need a bit of time to come in and mould. And even now, right now, that deal is in a bit of doubt. Barcelona haven't officially confirmed it. Nothing is signed yet. We've got an agreement with Gremio. That's official. But as of yet, we haven't officially signed Arthur. So there's still work to be done on that one. We're apparently looking at some physical profile, which I do not understand. But the centre midfield role for me is a must. We've got to bring somebody in of real quality, real pedigree, with experience and star quality in that midfield. We've lost Xavi. We've lost Iniesta. Busquets is ageing as well. You've got Lionel Messi who's having to drop in and do more work just to fill the voids in midfield. That can't go on. You've got to bring somebody in with world-class quality. I'm talking about Thiago, I'm talking about Pjanic, I'm talking about Eriksen. One of those kind of players who has phenomenal potential, phenomenal quality, and can come into the Barcelona midfield and play the way we need to. We're not going to buy somebody who's just going to go in there and do okay. We've done enough now of just getting by. That is not good enough at Barca right now. Andre Gomez, Arda Turan, Paulinho, these kind of players coming in for big money as well. We're spending big money on these kind of players, and it's not good enough. We've got to go out there this summer, highlight somebody who can come into that midfield, play very well straight away, and give us what we've desperately been lacking and what we will lack without Andres Iniesta. And obviously as well, you could sign somebody very high profile, a lot of money, and what you could also do at the same time as that, just to give us even more depth, is then look from within. I think young Carlos Alenia is ready this season, top goal scorer for Barcelona B, but he's a lot more than that. It's not about his goals, it's about his general play, his close control, his quality on the ball. He moves incredibly well going forward on the ball, and I think he could be a really good player, given the chance, given the minutes, given the opportunities in that midfield, and I think he'd be a really good player this summer now. Let him go on pre-season and then adapt him into that first team role and watch him shine. And my final position, guys, relates to the forward role, and this is more of a question to you than a certain demand for a player in this position. And I've asked it many times before, and I think the debate really is still going on. Do we need to sign a centre forward this summer? Do we need to sign somebody to compete with Suarez, to take Suarez's place? What are your thoughts on that kind of role, that position? Do we need to strengthen it this summer? Because you know full well the forward players that come in, they will be the most expensive. They will take up the majority of our budget. And I'm just sitting here right now, I've spoken about our midfield problems. I've spoken about all those places really that we need to fill to really strengthen our team. And is the forward positions really one of those priorities? I'm really not sure right now. I'm not really sure that 100 million on Antoine Griezmann, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of our budget. Bartomeu came out and our budget this summer is not actually that high. We're going to have to sell players in order to buy the very top quality. And that's what I mean. You're going to be taking up a lot of your budget in one player there while the rest of our team is still quite exposed. Can we afford to do that? I'm really not sure. And speaking as well as that forward position, there is one player who has been out on loan this season and has done fantastically well while he has been out there. Munir El Haddadi, of course, broke onto the scene under Luis Enrique in the first game of the season against Elche, scoring on his debut. Everything looks so promising, but as always, it's very difficult at Barcelona to deal with that kind of pressure, to kick on from those kind of moments. He didn't quite do that, but what he has done is go out this season to Alaves and really shine. He's been scoring goals, he's been the main man in their team, he's really thrived upon being that guy, the go-to guy for goals, for creating chances, and he's had a really productive season. He has been at the hand of a lot of Alaves' goals, and they've not scored an awful lot this season, but Munir really has been the driving force behind them really staying in La Liga. But I just think with Munir, it's a really interesting one. If we don't bring in Griezmann, or even if we do, is there a place at Barcelona for Munir? Obviously not in the starting 11, you know, he's not quite ready yet at all to sort of walk into our team. But as a squad role, when you need players coming off the bench, again, again, a young player, somebody who came through Barcelona B, who does understand the philosophy, and again, won't be expensive. It's not going to cost anything to get him back, because that's also you've got to figure out. You can't just go out this summer, guys, and sign anybody and everybody. We have to be careful. We've got to spend our money wisely, something that I think personally we haven't really done. I think a lot of the time our money that we've spent, especially not only on transfer fees, but wages as well, it's been way over the top. We need to tighten our belts in the summer. We need to be careful. We need to be precise with where we're spending our money and spend it in all of the right areas. That's why I thought I'd make this video, guys, just to highlight really some of those gaps that we really need to fill, some players that could be leaving this summer, and some of the things really that I wanted to bring to your attention with regard to these positions. And do we need that big forward? Do we need Griezmann? 100 million? Should we go out there and spend it? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. The transfer window is nearly upon us, and hopefully it's going to be an exciting time. Leave your thoughts and your comments down below. Thank you as always for joining me, and of course I will see you soon with more videos. But until then, as always, Vesca El Barça.